Hi everyone, back again. I've got my grains that I soaked last night and I'm ready to assemble my bread. So I've boiled the kettle. I'm just going to put in a small bit in the cup of boiling water, and I'm going to add to that a teaspoon or so of sugar. I've got Epidural sugar. So that's to activate the yeast. So I just stir that while it's in the hot water, because the Epidural sugar does take a little bit more to dissolve. So I'll just do that. Once I've got that dissolved, I add a bit of cold water to then take the water up to quite a warm body temperature. And I'll just add a bit more hot water there. And I fill it with, I washed my hands, so I've got nice clean hands, scrubbed, and when it's quite a good warmth, I then add in a sachet of the dry yeast. Lee says a dessert spoon, and this is 7 grams, so it's probably not quite a dessert spoon, but I find that for my one loaf, it's my one large loaf, it's enough. Does a good job. So I put that in and give it a bit of a stir and put the rest on, just let that sit there, and that will rise. So I'll leave that. And now I bring over my mixing bowl. Now it is really good to have a crockery bowl. I've got a large crockery bowl which it takes this dough nicely. If you haven't got a crockery bowl, at least have a glass or a stainless steel bowl. Do not use plastic, because I'm pretty sure Lee said it won't rise. So put in my grains. That's my wheat berries, and I use the kettle to add more hot water to get the rest of the quinoa and grains out, because we want to try and make this mix, warm. A good warmth is good. Right, so into this I am going to add 2 dessert spoons of apple cider vinegar, and I use Bragg's because they have the mother still in there. The mother means that the fermenting process, they haven't filtered out the live fermenter. So this is a really good cider vinegar. So I put in 2 dessert spoons, which I'm actually using soup spoons, but so maybe not quite dessert spoons, but that seems to work. You can add a little bit extra if you want. Stir that in, and I've got a little salt thing that's got a small salt thing, but I use a Celtic salt, or more recently I've been using the Himalayan crystal salt, because the ocean's got so much residues from humans. I'm tending to use the salt here now, but whatever. Both my salts are very good quality salts, not like the salt that you get in just a normal iodized salt, I guess. I never use those, but because they're quite strong, I find that this spoon, which is probably quite a small spoon, is enough. So I just put in 1, 2, 3 teaspoons, 3 good teaspoons of all my different salts. Give that a bit of a stir. And now I'm going to add the flour. So I've got here some Young Living Einkorn flour, but this is the best flour. It's the original wheat, the very, very first wheat grain that was ever grown and eaten. And you can see on here that Gary's written on here that this original grain only has 14 chromosomes. A lot of the problem with wheat these days is that, and there's a whole video that Cindy O'Meara has done from Changing Habits about what has happened to the change in wheat. So I find this wheat is very good, but it's a older, quite solid, sort of makes it quite solid bread, so I do mix it down with spelt. So and also I get from Cindy O'Meara the Emma wheat when as another, that's the next wheat from Einkorn. It's been crossed with the goat grass, and that's Emma wheat, which I get from Cindy O'Meara from Changing Habits. She used to have Einkorn, but she doesn't have it anymore. She only has the Emma. So I use those old wheats, and the recipe takes 5 cups of flour. So I put, well, I do half cups. So I do 2 of the Einkorn, 2 of the Emma, and 2 of spelt flour, and then 4 of the white spelt flour. So, but you can do whatever you like, but that's how I do it, because I like a bit of white in there to make it a bit lighter. But I do like putting in, so I've pre-measured here, this is 2, this is 1 cup basically of the Einkorn, 1 cup of the Emma, and I'll mix those thicker, heavier grains in first with the water. Get them to absorb that water up. Now, as far as the water goes, it's just a feel thing, so you just have to play around with it. You don't want it too liquid and you don't want it too solid. So my yeast is starting to rise here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's starting to fluff up. But I'm just going to add a little bit of cold Emma. I might just mix up in here to make it easy, just some warm with a bit of cold, so a bit of extra water if I need it. Yeah, good. So I'll put a bit of that in now and add in my wholemeal spelt. So that's a cup of that. So that's 3 cups so far. We're aiming for 5 cups. So then I have 2 cups of white spelt here. Put that in, already mixed. And I'm going to now add my yeast that's been rising. And then I'll just mix that together. Get all the rest of the yeast out of there. You don't want the water to be too hot because you don't want to kill the yeast, but you don't want it to be too cold. You want it to be nice and warm. So that's why I pre-mix a bit of water here to make it, make sure it's not too hot. So once you've got it to a nice consistency, which I'm going to show you in a minute here, you then are going to do a bit of action with your spoon to try and activate the yeast a bit more by, you know, almost like a kneading in bowl kneading. Needs a bit more, just a little bit dry, still a little bit dry. Good for your arm muscles, everybody. So you can add extra things into your bread, such as sometimes I'll do an olive and rosemary loaf, or sometimes I'll add in caraway seeds or fennel seeds or sesame seeds or things like that. But I usually add that in the next process, not now. Leave this here just so that it gets its kneading thing done. So it's a sort of a hook action where you're kind of hooking into the bread. I'll come and show you how the consistency. So you can see that it's still quite thick, but it's also you need to work it out for yourself how much thickness you do. But that's what I think is going to be quite a nice loaf. So, and I'm just going to put some hook action into it to get that air going in there, to get the yeast activating nicely. So I'll do a bit more of that, and then I will just put a tea towel over it, and I'll leave it in a warm place and leave it for about an hour or so that it rises, and carry on making my dinner. Okay, I'll be back in step 3.